A good evening to you from San Antonio, Texas, and the Joint Base Lackland. It's time for game number 2 in the Women's 2017 Armed Forces Sports Basketball Championships. Hi, everybody. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you to bring you today's contest between Army and the Marines. Lots to talk about. Let's start with the starting lineups. First for the visiting Army women. Head coach is Major Michael Myers, and they start at one guard. It's number 10, Sergeant Danita Adams. At another guard, it's number 20, Specialist Kenyatta Sears. Up front today for Army is number 12, that's Specialist Juliet Turner. Number 15, Second Lieutenant Kiana D'Oliveira. And number 22, Sergeant First Class April Cromartie. That's the starters for Army. Now for the Marines and head coach Chris Harper. He starts at one guard, number 2, Sergeant Naomi Green. Number 12, Sergeant Ashley Leachman, also in the backcourt. And up front today for the Marines, it's number 1, Corporal Shelby Abreu Rodriguez. Number 5, Sergeant Ali Tellez. And number 15, Lance Corporal Vela Jackson. So the Marines come in. Last year's tournament, they went winless. Each lost by double figures, and their average margin of defeat was 51 points per ball game. Meanwhile, Army, they won gold in thrilling fashion over Navy, 67-65, a buzzer beater to win the championship as they finished 7-0 overall. Head coach Michael Myers telling us that the team's come together quickly. He's got a veteran coaching staff behind him, and they are ready to repeat. So it's Army and the Marines coming up here to wrap up our day. And just to give you a quick recap of the day, earlier today on the men's side, it was the Air Force 113, Navy 97. And then the other men's game finished just a moment ago, and Army all over the Marines, 97-59. The other women's game today, it was Navy looking real good against the Air Force, 91-63. Navy struggled a little bit at the start of that one, but they came on strong in the second quarter, dominating the Air Force and pulling away with a big victory. So, folks, here's the deal. If you've been following all day, you've heard this spiel before. Some internet troubles earlier today here at the gym where there is no internet here, so we're streaming on a MiFi, and those things are unreliable at best. So the broadcast does go down. We will get it up and going quickly as possible. We've had good luck tonight since the base is kind of wind down for the evening. Things have calmed down on the base, and I think that's helped the internet work a little bit better for us. But it is possible that it could go down, and if it does, we will get it up for you just as quick as we can. You can use the YouTube chat, like Karen has already used the YouTube chat, an Army fan saying hello. If you want to chat with me during the broadcast, we'd love to. I always try to interact with people when I can. So thanks for watching wherever you're watching from. Army in the black, the Marines in the white and red. Army the heavily favored in this one. It's a team that Michael Myers said is conditioned. He takes conditioning most important factor. So let's see if Army can get up and down. Conditioning when you're playing 7 times in 7 days. Yeah, it's pretty important. Right now it's the Marines with the quick legs as Green gets to the bucket and scores. So the Marines take a 2-0 lead. Naomi Green played at Dillard College. She's from Louisiana, stationed at Parris Island in South Carolina. Dillard is an NAIA school, which is kind of like Division II. Leachman off the turnover. The Marines with 9 to shoot. And that pass off to Mark Green. It went off the player's back. 1 to shoot, and they say it counted, but I think the shot clock hit 0 well before the buzzer went off. Either way, they're going to give him the point. So it doesn't really matter what I think. But that was well after the shot clock hit 0. Here's Cromartie. It's another turnover as Jackson comes up with a steal. How about the Marines coming out fast, stepping into a triple? It's Green. Can't get it back of the rim. Rebound, D'Oliveira. It's it over to Sears. Sears can't get it to go. D'Oliveira blocked from behind. Good defense of Abreu Rodriguez, and Green settles everybody down. April Cromartie is a double-double threat. Played at Campbell. She's a veteran. Played at Campbell. Her freshman year was 98. Her senior year, 2002. 17 points as a senior. All kinds of accolades playing at Campbell. We'll talk about more of that later. Abreu Rodriguez from downtown. How about the start for the Marines? That shot is blocked, and another block and a foul. So Adams had it blocked. Cromartie will go to the line. And Army getting punched, taking the first hit here tonight. So Cromartie was an ASUN tourney MVP in 2000. 1,892 points in 4 years at Campbell. 9.6 rebounds per game and 116 game plays. Again, she's a veteran and a good player from Campbell University as she gets Army on the board first here tonight. This is a deep Army team. Adams played for Team USA when they competed in the SISM tournament and won silver last year. We'll talk more about some of these players as the day goes on. But right now the Marines with this good start. Here's Green from Abreu Rodriguez being hassled by Sears. And a blocking foul. Nope, they say over the back. And then they call an illegal screen, on Jackson. So the ball goes back to Army. It's loud in this building. You can probably hear it behind me. Cromartie off the back of the rim, no. Put back underneath, no. D'Oliveira on the second effort is fouled and will go to the line. It's college rules here, folks, so women play 4 10-minute quarters. You're over the limit on 5 team fouls. Right now, the Marines with 3 as D'Oliveira connects, and it's all free throws at the start for Army. D'Oliveira from Brooklyn, New York. They know basketball in that city. Grazes the rim on the second free throw. Now Green had it poked away. D'Oliveira going for the steal. Stationed at Fort Carson in Colorado. Green threw it away. It's a steal. D'Oliveira with the first field goal for Army. So a 5-point burst. The Marines, Chris Harper, wants a 20-second timeout. So we will step aside for just a moment and come right back. Marines with the basketball, full court press, and there's going to be a foul on Army. It'll be on Danita Adams. That's the first foul of the ball game for Army. Krishima, glad to be back with you here in San Antonio. Game 4 of 28 that we're going to bring you. Abreu Rodriguez throws it away, looking for Jackson. Steal by Adams, who goes coast to coast, banks it off the glass, and we are tied. So back-to-back 7-0 runs. Adams is going to be called for a foul again. She's going to have to come out. Alexa Sanders coming in. She played at Houston for a couple of seasons. 6.8 points, 37% shooter. So a good player off the bench for Major Michael Myers and Army. Again, the press for Army, and traveling is called on Naomi Green. So Green discombobulated in the full court press. Army on a 7-0 run. We've had 2 of those to start this game. Sears skies it for D'Oliveira. Cromartie gets it back. Sears for 3. Off the side of the rim, D'Oliveira chases it down. Extra possession for Army. Sears running the show. State champion in high school from Hampton, Virginia. Turns it over there, though, as Jackson comes up with the steal for the Marines. Here's Green. Jackson looking underneath for the cutter. Tellez can't get it to go, and it's a rebound by Army, and that's Turner. Juliet Turner from D.C. Underneath, traveling is the call on Kiana D'Oliveira. Sub for the Marines coming in, Staff Sergeant Sharonda Jones. In for Army is number 11, that's Captain Luis Vandenbosch. She played at Dartmouth for 4 years, 2007 to 2011. Averaged over 4 points, 3 rebounds in her senior year. Abreu Rodriguez looking underneath. The double team on Tellez, takes the shot, missed it on the side. Turner the rebound. Sanders into the forecourt for Army. It's a 2-3 zone right now for the Marines. Turner. They've been stuck on 7 for the last couple of minutes. Vandenbosch. Turner with 5 to shoot. D'Oliveira right of the lane, too strong off the glass, and underneath with 1 on the shot clock, a Marines foul. That will be team foul number 3. So both teams nearing the midway point of the first quarter with 3 team fouls. Again, it's 5 team fouls in the women's game. And your opponent is in the bonus right now. Here's D'Oliveira back at the line. Connecting on the first. 8-0 run for Army, by the way. Corporal Taisha Harrison coming in. She played at Virginia Wise from Forest, Virginia for 1 season. Appeared in 16 games. I believe that's a Division II school. There's a lot of good D2 programs in the Virginia, North Carolina area. You've got schools like UVA Wise, UNC Pembroke. Green being hounded, has to get some help. Abreu Rodriguez almost had it knocked away, goes strong to the bucket, and a blocking foul is called on Army. Might have been in the restricted area. It's going on D'Oliveira. This has been a physical, frantic, helter-skelter kind of a first quarter for both of these teams. That's 4 team fouls on the Marines. That means bonus time on the next defensive set. Correction, they changed it. Just 4 on the Marines. Army got the call, so they should have 4 team fouls as Abreu Rodriguez misses the first free throw. As it is, though, it's still a 9-0 run for Army in this disjointed physical game. So the foul was on D'Oliveira as Abreu Rodriguez goes 1 out of 2, and it's 9-8, so that ends Army's 9-0 run. To the forecourt is Sanders. Now this is Turner. Vanden Bosch. D'Oliveira back to Vanden Bosch. And it's a steal. Great defense by Jones. Sharonda Jones making an immediate impact. Miranda Marino, who's come in, turns it over. Spinning, shooting, and scoring is D'Oliveira, and that's 11-8 Army. So Miranda Marino, I missed her. She's a local product from right here in San Antonio. Her stationed at Camp Pendleton, though. That's in California. Green drives in, throws it up, and that actually went out of bounds. Cromartie had the rebound. Couple of subs coming in. Coming back in is Ashley Leachman for the Marines. On for the first time for Army, Second Lieutenant Danielle Sally, member of Team USA last year in the SISM tournament, along with her fellow teammate, Danita Adams. She also played in 2015. Last year they won silver. 2015 Team USA won bronze. Short on the shot was Turner, and the ball goes out of bounds back to the Marines. On for the Marines, Vella Jackson checking back in. Jackson, a good player from the Pacific Northwest, Evergreen High School. That's where she played. Averaged almost a double-double her senior year up in Vancouver. Stationed at, as well, at Camp Pendleton. A lot of the Marines players are Camp Pendleton stationed. Kickball's going to be called there on Army. So with the shot clock at 13, they'll add a couple of seconds to 15 now on the shot clock. Green inbound it. Harrison. And that's going to go off of Green, out of bounds. So Army, after the Marines took a 7-0 lead quickly in this game, they've only had 1 point in probably the last 4 or 5 minutes even. Here's a three that's way too long by D'Oliveira. Sanders, long rebound. Bounce pass. Vanden Bosch for three, too long. Put back by Turner underneath is good. So 13-1 is the Army run as they lead by 5. Approaching 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you here in San Antonio. Green, hounded by Vanden Bosch. Nice move by Green, and Green runs into traffic, no call. And now Jones puts it in. That's the first field goal since the opening 2 minutes. Sally is blocked, and she's fouled, I believe. Shelby Abreu Rodriguez coming back in to replace Marino for the Marines. And D'Oliveira will get a break, as Sergeant Latrell Kirkland coming in for the Army. Sally gets it out to her. Kirkland long on the three. Abreu Rodriguez the rebound. Nearing 2.5 to play here in the first quarter. From the baseline, it's Harrison airballing a jumper. Sally the board. Kirkland into the forecourt, into the circle, into the lane. Swings it out. Vanden Bosch three. Yes! (16-3), the Army run. Abreu Rodriguez directing traffic now. Army in a zone. Green trying to shred that pass in. Now here's Harrison cutting, too strong off the glass. Sanders throws full court. Vanden Bosch, yes. Army by 8, their biggest lead of the night. There's Jackson, out to Green. Green for three, yes. I like what I've seen from Green. Had a couple of bad turnovers, but playing hard here today. That was poked away. Kirkland stays with it though. Shot no good. And the rebound controlled by Harrison. Taisha Harrison for the Marines. So Harrison on the court with Leachman. Also Green, Jackson, and Abreu Rodriguez. That's the 5 for the Marines as we go inside a minute to go. And as soon as I give you those 5, 2 subs come in. It's Ali Tellez coming back on. Also Miranda Marino coming in. And they replace Harrison and Green. Pass is intercepted. Good defense there by Turner. So Turner, Vandenbach, and Kirkland on the floor with Sally. And also Sanders. That's the 5 for Army right now. Sally to the cutter. Sanders can't get it to roll. The rims have not been friendly here tonight. Ball was deflected out of bounds, so we'll stay on this side of the court. 4-second difference between game and shot clock as the shot is taken away. Tellez. And there's about a second and a half, maybe 2-second difference between the game and shot clock as we get late here in this first quarter. Abreu Rodriguez. Ball deflected. It's a steal again by Turner. Here's Sanders with 5 seconds. Kirkland puts it up. Yes, and the foul. With 2.6 seconds. Kirkland goes to the line, try to complete an old school 3-point play. They're discussing who the foul was on here. Late sub for the Marines. Corporal Maya Bradford making her first appearance from Brownsville, Tennessee, and Haywood High School. So the foul was on Abreu Rodriguez as the 3-point play is complete. Army leads by 8. Time for a buzzer beater for the Marines. Marino gets it off, and it goes! Oh, what a shot! Miranda Marino. Army takes the lead, but the Marines with some momentum after 10 minutes of play. 21-16. We'll be back with quarter number 2 here in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. 21-16 in favor of Army, but a buzzer beater three-pointer by Marino. As the Marines within 5. Not a shock per se, but it is surprising. Army dominated the Marines last year. Marines looking much more competitive here today, though. Vandenbosch unable to get that 3 to go. Give you the first half numbers here. The Marines actually out shooting Army 46% to 37%. But Army, 8 offensive rebounds and +9 in rebounding. Marino's got the last 5 points for the Marines, though, as they cut the deficit down to 2. And quickly answering back is Kirkland. Timeout by the Marines. Head coach Chris Harper is not happy, and he's giving it to Naomi Green right now. So we'll keep it here. As I mentioned, 8 offensive rebounds helped Army get the 5-point lead. Also 5 steals, both teams with 5 steals apiece. 8 turnovers for the Marines, 6 for Army. Leading scorer is D'Oliveira for the Army. Kiana's got 7 points on 2 of 4 shooting to go along with 5 rebounds. She might have a double-double before the half. Leading scorer for the Marines is Abreu Rodriguez. Shelby with 6 points on 2 of 2 shooting as a 3-pointer. 5 points for Naomi Green. And 3 points for Kirkland and Vandenbosch, respectively. So that's your first quarter statistics out of the timeout. Just underway here in the second quarter, about a minute in. Thanks for watching. Wherever you're watching from, feel free to use the YouTube chat. If you're watching on a desktop or laptop, it's usually pretty easy to use the live chat. If you're on your phone, it can be a little more difficult, but we also have the hashtag Armed Forces Basketball on Twitter if you want to give us a shout there. Good defense from Sally. Pokes it ahead to Sanders, who can't get the bucket, but draws the foul. So Sanders will go to the line. Mentioned Sanders averaging 6.8 points per game in her sophomore year at Houston. Played in 2013 to 2015 before joining the Army, stationed at Fort Hood here in Texas. And Slidell, Louisiana. I went to Louisiana for the first time on my way here. I went to New Orleans for the first time. Boy, Louisiana is an interesting state. It's the Gulf region is kind of an area all its own. Good food, really good food. Green being hounded. It's 2 against 2. Green goes right around Sanders and scores. And how about this? 24-20, the Marines hanging right with the defending champs. Underneath it's Sally. Sally to the bucket. Can't get it to go. Put back, no. It was blocked by Jackson. Army still, though, their 4th attempt. And Vandenbosch scores. And that's why Army leads right now, folks. If it weren't for second chance points, this would be the Marines' game. Green into the forecourt. Army men winning earlier today over the Marines in a rout. Abreu Rodriguez, the bounce pass to the cutter. Marino who scores. How about Marino off the bench with 7 points? 26-22. Hopefully for her, she's got some folks or some family or friends watching. She's from San Antonio. Green pulls down the rebound off the Army miss, and here come the Marines. The Marines hit first in this ball game, led 7-0, then a 16-3 run gave Army the lead. Traveling's going to be called on Abreu Rodriguez as she ran into a wall. And Army sending in a host of subs here. It's number 20, Kenyatta Sears, coming back into the game. April Cromartie also back out there. Specialist Pearl Henriquez on for the first time from Washington Heights, New York. They join Kirkland and also Kiana D'Oliveira back out there. Here's Kirkland for three. Can't get it to go. Another offensive rebound. Cromartie in an awkward spot. First effort, no, but she draws the foul. So Cromartie will go to the line. Got to give a shout out to Pearl Henriquez. She played college basketball at Montreat. I used to live in Asheville, North Carolina, and Montreat, just down the road, probably a 20-minute drive or so. One of the most beautiful parts of this country is that area. First free throw up and in by Cromartie. That Montreat school has had all kinds of problems, and Henriquez played there from 2012 to 2015. She's from Washington Heights in New York. Look out for the lane violation there as Cromartie gets the second to go, and Army leads by 6. Now Bray Rodriguez able to break the press. Green. Nice cut and nice find by Green and Bray Rodriguez. Can't get it to go though. Here comes Army. D'Oliveira spinning, can't get the shot. Cromartie, and that's going to go over the line. She did her best, but these two teams meeting again. Everybody plays each other a couple of times, and they will play again on Saturday at 1 p.m. So we'll have that one for you on Saturday. So the forecourt is Green. Bray Rodriguez now over to Jones. Corner three, Marino, yes! She's in double figures with 10. 10 of the 25 points for Marino, who's feeling it tonight. Henriquez for three, an air ball. And it's going to be out of bounds, last touched by Army. The Marines came in last year, they went 0-7. Their average margin of loss, 51 points per game. Army put up over 100 points against the Marines last year. They beat them, I think, by over 100 points. We'll have to look that one up. A turnover there gives the ball back to Army. Into the forecourt is Sears. Sears, D'Oliveira, turnaround shot off the back of the rim, no good. And players are tied up. It was Cromartie tied up with, I believe it was Jackson. So 28-25. Here's Green into the forecourt. Jackson to the bucket, banks it off the glass and in. It's a 1-point game. Army, the defending champs. And this is certainly a new look Marines team. Three ball is going to go out of bounds off of Sears, and Army will call for time. 5:01 left to go here in the first half, and Army leads 28-27. We'll be back here in just a moment. 28-27, a good one here to wrap up day one. Updated look at the stats. Army shooting just 28%. The Marines at 55%. Second chance opportunities that's keeping Army in the game. They have 15 offensive rebounds already. Leading scorer is Miranda Marino with 10 points on a perfect 4 out of 4 shooting and 2 out of 2 from behind the arc. Chris Shima, glad to be with you here in San Antonio. Marines with the basketball looking to regain the lead. Leading scorer, by the way, for Army is Dalla Vera with 7 points to go along with 5 rebounds. Here's Abreu Rodriguez. Green in the corner. Nice trap and go. Abreu Rodriguez and Green played that perfectly, and the Marines are up by 1. 29-28. Here's Sears. Sanders now. Sanders for 3. Yes, no, it's a 2. They say it's a 2. Her foot was on the line, so Army retakes the back and forth we go. 30-29. Well, they've got different score here, so we'll check on it. They've got Army with 31. So 31-29, the correct score on your screen, as that shot is missed by Abreu Rodriguez. Set the 5 on the floor. Turner for Army with Sanders in the backcourt and Henriquez. Cromartie also out there with Turner. That's the 5 for Army. Here's a 3 by Sears. Rebound controlled by Marino. Ball was poked away. Marino able to save it over in the corner. So Marino on the court with Green and Jones. Sharonda Jones back out there with Abreu Rodriguez and Jackson. Jackson has the ball, goes to the bucket, and called for the offensive foul. So the turnover will give the ball back to Army. Cromartie gets it to Sears. Sears played at LIU Post. Mentioned it, there's another player on the men's side from Hampton, Virginia. When's that area going to get a pro team? April Cromartie being held, and they call a jump ball. Possession arrow will favor Army. Wrapping up day 4. That's the first jump ball we've had here in any of the 4 games. Day 1, 4 games is what I meant to say. You know what I mean. Top of the key, Juliet Turner swings it right side to Henriquez, who buries the triple. Henriquez is stationed in Germany. He's made a long trip, as answering back was Vela Jackson. Talked to some of the coaches, about getting some of these men and women over here, and all the travel that's involved. They have to come and try out, most of them, and it's a long journey. Players from Germany and Korea. Danielle Sally is stationed at Camp Red Cloud in Korea. Most of these players, veterans, who are familiar with what it takes. So you go through all that travel, and then, oh yeah, you got to play 7 times in 7 days. By the way, the next game on Thursday for the Marines will be against Navy at 7 p.m. Army plays a little earlier tomorrow, so they have a little less rest as they take on Air Force at 3 p.m. 36-31 is your score. 2:19 left to go until halftime. Take a break at the half. Marino in the corner, and she just let go of the football, or the basketball. I think she was begging for a foul call there. Did not get it. Into the forecourt, Sears Corner three by Sanders. That should have been out of bounds as it hit the shot clock. But no call. Either way, the Marines get it back. Green threw that pass away. I think she was thinking Jackson was going to cut. Either way, it's a steal for Army. Step in to a jumper does Sears, can't get it to go. And Turner was out of bounds when she tried to save it. So the ball back to the Marines. 1:29 left to go until halftime. Naomi Green. And another throwaway. Turner's just sitting in the lane picking off passes. Here's the run and gun as Henriquez puts it up and in. The lead is 7 now for Army. Approaching 1 minute to go here in the opening 20 minutes. We'll take a break at halftime. You can check in on the World Series. There's another big bucket from Green. So every time it looks like Army's sort of pushing it out, the Marines have an answer. Sears thought about it. Henriquez steps inside the arc. Nice fake and shot as she's come off the bench and made a quick impact. Green. About a 10-second difference between game and shot clock. Marino. Abreu Rodriguez turnaround shot, no good, and Henriquez the rebound. Looking for the cutter underneath, got it to Turner. She is fouled. So Juliet Turner at the line from the D.C. area and the Texas Army National Guard. Short on the first free throw. So 13.8 to work with for the Marines as that free throw is good and Army leads by 7. Oh boy, look out. Is that going to be an offensive foul? Yeah. I mean, you can't push somebody out of your way. That's what Abreu Rodriguez did. So now Army can hold for the final shot here with 11.4 remaining. That's the 15th foul on the Marines. So no bonus because it was an offensive foul. Just one foul in the second quarter for Army. So let's see if Army holds for the final shot here. Sears to inbound it. Skies it for Sanders. Sears driving in, throws it up, can't bank it in. Rebound by Jackson. And it looks like that will do it. So the first half comes to an end. Pretty competitive, but Army does have a 7-point advantage after 20 minutes of play. Folks will go away, bring you the second half here in just a few moments. Welcome back, everybody. On to the third quarter we go. Army leading by 7. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you here in San Antonio, Texas. Day 1 of 7 here in this Armed Forces Championships. Let's take a look at the first half numbers as we're underway here in this second period. And 56% shooting for the Marines in that first half, just 33% for Army, but Army with 28 rebounds and 18 of those on the offensive glass, plus 14 in rebounding, and that's helped them get off 18 more shots, even though both of these teams made the same amount of field goals. Army also 10 out of 13 from the free throw stripe, to just 1 out of 2 for the Marines. So it's rebounding and free throw disparity that really is the tale. 2 players in double figures, both for the Marines with 10 points. Naomi Green on 4 of 6 shooting. Miranda Marino with 4 out of 4 shooting, including a buzzer beater to end the first quarter, 3-pointer. So leading scorers for Army, 7 points for D'Oliveira. All of those came in the first quarter to go along with 5 rebounds. Pearl Henriquez came off the bench in the second quarter and scored 7 points as Army gets on the board there. So that's your first half stats, everybody. A pretty competitive game to wrap up day 1. Again, both of these teams will play each other again. That will be on Saturday at 1 p.m. The Rainbow Three, Sharonda Jones gets the start here in the second half and connects. Strong move to the bucket, but unable to get the shot to go was Adams. So Army with the basketball, 2 minutes into this third quarter. Adams up top. Cromartie turnaround shot goes in and out and bounces back up and in. The lead is 8 again for Army. Army, if you're just joining us, the champions of this tournament last year, winning gold over Navy on a buzzer beater. Turnover, Sears with the steal, goes coast to coast, can't get the layup. Turner the putback, and the ball just not bouncing. Now a foul's going to be called as Green was held after she pulled down the rebound. Again, folks, feel free to chat with us on the YouTube chat if you'd like. We have that going. Love to hear from some folks. Check some of the early numbers. People watching from all over the place. Early timeout for Chris Harper and the Marines, so we will step aside for a moment. Just underway here in the second half. We'll be right back. Marines with the basketball out of the timeout, trailing by 8. Kuroshima, glad to be back with you here in San Antonio. Army and the Marines wrapping up day 1 coverage here in San Antonio. We'll have 4 more games for you tomorrow. All the games, as the charge was taken by Turner. All games at 1, 3, 5, and 7. 1300, 1500, 1700, or 1900, whichever time you prefer. Into the forecourt is Sears. This is Adams on the right wing. Nice move. Step back three. Missed it short. Long rebound chased down by Tellez. And Tellez in danger of traveling as she's double teamed. It's taken away. D'Oliveira. Sears underneath. D'Oliveira gets the extra pass from Adams, but it's deflected out of bounds. Maybe too much passing. So it's Sears to inbound. Both teams with a team foul here early in this second half. Green with the long run out. Thought about it. Instead, the extra pass. Tellez can't get it to go from point blank. Rebound by Turner. And here comes Army. It's Sears. Adams surveys, goes cross course to Turner. Bounce pass Cromartie, turnaround shot in the lane is short, and it's Tellez with the rebound. Army takes on the Air Force tomorrow at 3. The Marines, another 7 o'clock game for them against Navy. All these times Central, so adjust accordingly. Abreu Rodriguez in the corner, can't get the jumper. D'Oliveira pulls down another rebound. She's on her way to a double-double here tonight. Sears into the forecourt. Sears, as I mentioned in the first half, a state champion in high school. You love to have those winners on your team as Adams buries a triple. And Army goes up by double figures for the first time here tonight. The Marines with just 3 points here midway through this third quarter. Tellez throws it away. Good defense by Sears. Full court. Turner, yes. So Army starting to lock this one down. And the Marines going to make a couple of changes. Marino's come back in. Here's a three by Green. Can't get that to go. Turner, full court to Sears. Yes. And a timeout. Chris Harper cannot be happy with his team not sprinting back on defense, so we will step aside again. 4:43 to go here in quarter number 3, and Army with its biggest lead of the night. Army leading 52-37. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. Hi to Lydia and Stacy, a couple of Army fans. We also have a fan on the Marines watching on the YouTube chat. Thanks for checking in, everybody. Glad to be with you as we're back to live action. The Marines with the basketball need to get something going offensively here as they have just 3 points so far in this third quarter. Marino's had the hot hand. Let's see if they draw something up for her. They did. Guess who was ready for it? Sears, who goes coast to coast again. That's her third straight fast point bucket, I believe. And it's a 17-point advantage now for Army. Three by Magana, who's come on. So on for the first time is Corporal Cecilia Magana from Oregon. Set the 5 for both of these teams here in just a moment. Sears for 3, yes. See, you get a couple of layups and then you start feeling good, and all of a sudden you start burying the deep jumpers as well. And the lead, well, they say it was just a 2-pointer, so it's 56 to 37. Jackson got tied up, loses the ball, but it's last touched by Army as it goes out of bounds. Ashley Leachman coming in for the Marines. Leachman played high school basketball in Halifax County in Virginia. She's from South Boston, Virginia. That's a very good program, at least when she was there up in Virginia. 18-19 game winner, I believe. Leachman trying to make an immediate impact, short on the jumper. Army came up with it. To her knees was Turner, who pulled it down, and then a Marines foul. It's been a pretty clean third quarter, knock on wood. That's just the second team foul for the Marines here in this quarter. Just one so far for Army here in this third quarter. Set the 5 for you. Adams and Turner on the court with Cromartie for Army. Also D'Oliveira. Cromartie misses the jumper, and Sears underneath the putback by D'Oliveira, no good, but she's fouled. For the Marines, Abreu Rodriguez and Green. It's also Leachman, Magana, and Jackson. So that's the 5 for the Marines. First free throw is up and good. And now the lead is 20. Cromartie comes out as Sally comes in for Army. And I believe Naomi Green also back in for the Marines. No, correction, Sharonda Jones coming back in. So 58 to 37. Bounce pass goes to Green. Here's Abreu Rodriguez for 3, and she got hit. So the bucket no good, but she will go to the line. Abreu Rodriguez from Florida. Again, several of the Marines ladies are stationed in Camp Pendleton in California, and Abreu Rodriguez is one of those. She's good on the first 2 for the Marines. 2 Army players checking in. It's Alexia Sanders, Desiree Wilson coming in. It looks like Sears will get a break for Army. And Corporal Taisha Harrison back out there for the Marines. All 3 free throws are good. Army leads by 18. 2:59 left to go here in the third quarter. Wrapping up day number 1. Wilson trapped. Able to get it to Sally. On that left wing, the 3 ball no good. Sally no good on the first effort, but cleans up on the second effort to lead back to 20 now for Army. Green into the forecourt. Here's Green. Far side Harrison. And they do change. You'll remember I took a point away from Army. They do change it back here. So what I do, folks, is I go with the officials who are sitting right next to me, and they talked about it and got together. So the correct score now on your screen, 61 to 40. 2:09 left to go. More subs coming in. It will be Latrell Kirkland replacing D'Oliveira. Abreu Rodriguez, her shot blocked, stays with it. In a sea of defenders, it's blocked again. I believe it was Sally. Sally couldn't gain possession, though, as Jackson comes and steals it right back. So a sloppy stretch here as Green has it now in the forecourt. Turnaround shot by Jackson, rims off. Turner, full court to Sanders, puts it up, puts it in. 63-40 now. Shelby Abreu Rodriguez over to Green. In the lane, it's Jackson. Still 13 to shoot. They dump it under to Jackson again, or turnaround shot, no good. In transition, here comes Army. Kirkland spins and draws a foul. With 1:11 to go here in the third quarter. Hi to Albania, I believe is the name. Another Army fan. Rooting on Vanden Bosch. Vanden Bosch stationed in Fort Knox in Kentucky from Dayton, Ohio, so familiar with that area. Not too far from home. Played at Dartmouth. One out of two at the line for Kirkland from Clearwater, Florida. And it's 64-40 now. Army clamping down here in this third quarter. The Marines led 7-0 right out of the gates. Trailed by 5 at the end of 1, by 7 at the end of 2. 7 on the shot clock. Jackson turnaround shot, and it's just not falling here in this third quarter for the Marines. Looking underneath, Sally. Swung back. Sanders to Wilson for 3. Kirkland gets the offensive rebound. Still 12 to shoot. Sanders. Wilson up top. Right side, Kirkland. A triple off the back of the rim. Sally the putback. And boy, the defender, Jackson, just kind of gave up there. 66-40. Last shot time for the Marines. A screen, and Sanders trying to run through the screen is called for the foul. So with 5.6 left to work with, it'll be Green. 4 seconds. Green gets it back from Jackson. Goes to Jones for 3. Not this time. 66-40, Army in control after 3 quarters of play. We'll bring you quarter number 4 right after this. Don't go too far. Quarter number 4 just about set to get underway as we wrap up day 1. I've been trying all day long to get folks to talk to me on YouTube. Y'all are listening to me tonight. I guess I had to wait for everybody to get home from work. So we've got Carrie and Jesus fans watching the Marines, Jesus wants a shout out for Ali Tellez, so you can consider yourself shouted out. Also, Vanessa rooting on Army. And I believe that's everybody as we start quarter number 4 with a turnover here. Back-to-back turnovers as Kirkland goes to the bucket off the steal. So Army by 28. The Marines shot just 1 of 17 in that third quarter. They were blazing, shooting over 50% at halftime. For the game now, they're at 36%. The Marines, that is, Army now shooting 37% as well. 11 points for D'Oliveira. She's got 11 and 7. Turner's got 5 points and 10 rebounds. 9 points for Sears, 8 points for Sanders, 7 for Henriquez. 3 players in double figures for the Marines. Abreu Rodriguez has 11. Green's got 10. Marino has 10 as well. So 68 to 42. That was Jones. Jones connecting. Hi to Karen as well, watching in Austin, Texas. I had thought about it, and it's not going to happen because of my schedule, but I had thought of, since this is my first trip to Texas, going up to Austin because I love music more than anything else in the world, and just kind of checking out what's going on up there, but not going to happen. So Karen sent some music down this way for me sometime this week. That pass is intercepted as Jackson threw it away. Full court to Sanders, who puts it up and in. Army leading 70 to 42. Also hi to the matriarch of the Sanders family, Kendra, who's watching. Thanks to everybody checking in on YouTube. Good to have you folks aboard. Nice to know you're out there. I know the World Series is going on. It's a Game 7, but that'll take a good 4 or 5 hours, you know, like baseball usually does. We'll be wrapped up here shortly. Abreu Rodriguez, and it deflected, and a timeout by the Marines. So we go away again. 8:17 left to go in the ball game. Army in control. We'll be back here in just a moment. Hey, we have somebody watching over in Deutschland. Hi to Kawan Bibi, watching his wife Pearl play here in the tournament. Glad to have you. It's 2 a.m. there in Germany. That's early by German standards, though. I mean, you got the whole night ahead of you, buddy. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Chris Schiemann, glad to be back with you here in San Antonio. Jackson, a wild shot. Army in control. Here's Turner running and gunning. Too strong off the glass. Jones pulls down the rebound. I told the story in the one of the earlier games. I myself, as Tellez is fouled, and she'll go to the line. Did not serve, but my dad served and was stationed in Germany for a long time. And he didn't learn much German, but he learned Ich bin ein Bier, which means I would like a beer. So there you go. If you didn't know that already, Kawan, that's how you order. That's my family. That should explain all you need to know about me. Tellez, first free throw up and good. 3 team fouls on Army, who have played pretty clean in terms of fouls so far in this game, but committing a lot of early fouls here in this fourth quarter. Second free throw, no good. Tipped rebound, Sally tipped it to herself. Kirkland, nobody guarding the rim And Kirkland right to the bucket for 2. This is Leachman. Tellez. And that ball will go out of bounds. Coming back in is Lance Corporal Vella Jackson for the Marines, replacing Sharonda Jones. Harrison. In the corner, it's Leachman. Up top, Tellez. Tellez, man, Sally. She's got those long arms, playing great defense here tonight. Kirkland might have forced that pass, but Wilson is there. Good ball movement here, still 14 to shoot. Sally taking the shot. See, you make the block, you make the great defensive play, and you get the ball in the hoop, and you're rewarded for it with a bucket. Sally at 6'4", but she plays a lot bigger than that. She's got a long wingspan. Mentioned she was a member of Team USA last year and in 2015, along with her teammate, Danita Adams. 2 subs on for the Marines. Sergeant Miranda Marino back out there, and on for the first time is number 14. That's Corporal Serenity Castillo. Oh boy, it's late, folks. Forgive me. Forgive me. Castillo gets it to Abreu Rodriguez, misses that 3. Here's Sanders, long run out. Too strong. Sally there. It's blocked, but she's fouled, and she will go to the line. Vanden Bosch getting set to check back in for Army. Sally will shoot a couple. That's the first team foul on the Marines here in this 4th and final quarter. Army has 4, so the Marines will be in the bonus. First free throw up and in for Sally. Here's Luis Vanden Bosch coming into your screen. She'll replace Turner. Second free throw off the back of the rim. Rebound controlled by the Marines. Castillo. Marino. Jackson from the elbow. She has been off. Vanden Bosch. Sent out to Wilson. Left side Kirkland to the baseline. She's cut off. A rocket pass. Sally ill prepared. Castillo with the interception. Now Abreu Rodriguez, and that's deflected out of bounds. 5:51 left to go. And the lead at 32. Marino to inbound. Jackson draws the foul. So Vella Jackson, I mentioned it in the first half if you're just joining us. Good high school player up in the Pacific Northwest as she gets the first free throw to go. Played at Evergreen High School in Vancouver in Washington. A double-double kind of a player. 8.6 points, 10 rebounds in her senior year in 2013-2014. And Bosch on the reverse, yes. Marino, zone for Army. Flips it to Abreu Rodriguez, and it's deflected out of bounds. Last touched by Army. A host of new subs for Army. Specialist Pearl Henriquez coming in. I know she's got one special fan who's watching, waiting for her to come in. Kenyatta Sears also back out there. Turnaround shot is good by Jackson. Turnover there. Danita Adams returns, as well as Kiana D'Oliveira. So I believe that's the 5 right now for Army. Marino had the hot hand in the first half. Good ball movement. Abreu Rodriguez can't get it from the right wing. D'Oliveira, another rebound. Enriquez throws it out to Sears. Right block. It's off the glass and in from Adams. Just past the midway point here in the fourth quarter as we wrap up day 1. Army in control. That pass is tipped, taken away by Sears. Sears for 3. Too strong. Offensive rebound by D'Oliveira. Second chance opportunities have led to shots like that from Vanden Bosch for Army here tonight. 82-47 Army. Army outscored the Marines 25-6 in the third quarter. And at 16-7, the advantage to Army here in this fourth quarter. Sharonda Jones coming back into the ball game, and for the Marines, Corporal Maya Bradford on for the second time. That's another triple for Sears, I believe, for Army. 85-47. Turnaround shot is good from the free throw strike by Sharonda Jones. Jones from my neck of the woods, Jacksonville, North Carolina. Good military town there, along with Fayetteville in that eastern North Carolina part. Castillo with the basketball and threw it away. Sears with the steal. Here's Adams on the run out. Yes. So Army wrapping this one up here with 3:05 left to go. They will win their first of this tournament. They'll play tomorrow. Short turnaround for Army, as they'll play at 3 p.m. against Air Force. Meanwhile, the Marines will play at 7 p.m. 87-49 now. Coming in for the first time for the Marines, number 13, Lance Corporal Rosalind Ortiz Flores from Puerto Rico. Turnaround shot in the lane. D'Oliveira is fouled. .242 remaining. D'Oliveira. Brooklyn, New York. There's two great, really, when you're talking about basketball towns, and that's New York and that's Chicago. Now, I'll say this, having lived in the Carolinas the last 5 years. North Carolina has some of the best high school and college basketball that I've seen. That's not to say that Florida and other places aren't competitive as well, but the Carolinas real good, women's and men's basketball. That's why South Carolina is the women's national champion, although, in my opinion, they got lucky they didn't have to play UConn. Out on the run, extra passes, unselfish play. Vanden Bosch, the recipient of that unselfishness. Army shooting 37%. D'Oliveira, 11 points, 7 rebounds. As we wrap this one up. Another jumper. That was Harrison getting on the board for the Marines. Trapped is Henriquez. Able to throw it out, D'Oliveira. Vanden Bosch, no. Put back by Adams. Count it and the foul. 1:37 remaining. We'll set the schedule for you tomorrow. We start with Army and the Air Force. That's the men at 1 p.m. or 1300 hours Central Time. And then Army and the Air Force women play 20 minutes after that game, or at 3 p.m. or 1500 hours. That's followed by Navy and the Marines, the men at 5. De Oliveira putting in off the miss. And then the Marines and Navy on the women's side will be our nightcap tomorrow at 7 p.m. or 1900 hours. Again, all those times Central. Adjust accordingly. I believe it's 7 hours difference in Germany, something like that, maybe a little bit more. Just in case somebody might be wondering. At the line is Jones with 1:18 left to go. Will Army get to 100 here tonight? We've seen one team go over 100. It was on the men's side, our first game. Air Force 113, Navy 97. That was up and down, to say the least. That triple is good by Adams. 1:02 left to go. Harrison. Magana's come back into the game, by the way. Cecilia Magana from Oregon fired it up, and that might have been altered or deflected or something. Henriquez draws the foul. Sharonda Jones picking up that foul. 44.2 seconds remaining. First free throw up and good. Second one rims out. Offensive rebound. Controlled by Sears. And Major Michael Myers, the head coach of Army, telling his team to run some clock. 13-second difference between the game and shot clock. So with 3 on the shot clock, the jumper is no good, and that will be, I believe, a shot clock violation before the ball went out of bounds. So the Marines will get it back. Well, nothing against Air Force, nothing against the Marines, but watching these first two, it's pretty clear that Army and Navy looking good again this year. As the clock will hit 0, and Army wins its first game 98-51 in its defense of a gold. So folks, that's going to wrap coverage for day 1. Want to thank everybody for watching. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock or 1300 hours. We start with the men. It's Army and the Air Force, followed by the ladies 20 minutes after that one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night.